Hello, hello, our viewing audience. Pleasant good afternoon to everyone. You're now watching another episode of A Few Good Men. And today we have an interesting conversation. Definitely something that you do not want to miss. All right, so my guests already in the back end. We'll bring them on shortly, but first I would just really like to introduce the topic today. As you can see, we are discussing male and fathers father stereotypes. Now, this program is a program in collaboration with the Parent Teachers Association of the Anglican High School, and they are partnered with A Few Good Men to be able to discuss topics surrounding the issues of men and children, especially student, especially female students at that. So we want to be able to bring on our guests. So first off, I'll bring on the president of the PTA, and he also is, one of the founders of the Fathers Association as well. Monty, welcome to the program.
Good day, Colin, and good day to all the listening public and followers of A Few Good Men in collaboration with Father Knows Best. Um, I'm pleased to be here for another Sunday just to discuss all these pertinent and important topics that we really need to discuss as parents and as society as a whole. So I think today is going to be a very nice discussion. I'm really looking forward to it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And also, would like to bring on a new guest to the platform. Female is, we would love to see, get a female perspective on this program. So, Miss Shelley Ann Lewis, welcome to the platform. You need to unmute, Shelley.
Right.
Hi, good evening,
All right.
everyone. Thank you,
And,
Cullen, Monty,
and
for inviting me.
okay, and
Yes,
if you can
yes.
center yourself so we can see you properly.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. All right. And finally, we have joining us all the way from the UK, Mr. Thomas. Welcome to the program. This is his first time on the platform.
Hi, I'm
Welcome.
Colin. I'm Monty, Shelly, and hi, everyone.
Hi,
Wonderful, wonderful.
Shavante.
So I just want to put this conversation into perspective before we begin trashing it out. Now, unlike male stereotypes, father stereotypes have undergone a lot of changes over the years as fathers have become increasingly involved in raising their children. As a result of the father stereotypes have evolved to include more maternal, example, intuitive, or less paternal, example, ambitious characteristics. However, there becomes a problem that arises, especially for male single parental households. Now, our question today is, now, someone sent that question in, and I find it very interesting. I have a 2-year-old daughter who loves to take showers with her daddy. At what age it becomes inappropriate for a little girl to shower with her father? So this is the question that we really want to discuss here this evening. I would like to throw it out there. I want to hear Shelley's, response. As a mother, and I'm sure you're a parent, right?
Yes, I'm a parent of boys.
Oh, you're a
Uh,
parent of boys. Okay. Well, funny enough, right? I know that my mother, yeah, gave me baths and stuff like that, you know, for a very long time, and that nothing was wrong with that, But somehow, when fathers are doing it in this modern times, we tend to see people, there's a stereotype or attached to or fear, that he might touch her inappropriately. I wanted to get your take on that.
Well, my take would be on a different slope because there are single dads who are very involved in their parents' lives. And it's important when children have fathers who take their role as a father in their lives very seriously because it helps them in their overall development and building of confidence, and it strengthens their attachments. Yes. And daddies who involve in their daily lives, like bathing, changing diapers, feeding, playing together, all of this strengthen that father child bond and helps the child to grow healthy. I want to venture to say that most dads who see their children as their children right, in bathing their child. I know for my husband, he bathed our sons, and it's okay until they're of that age where they can't bathe themselves,
Yeah.
and that is okay. So in my space, it's normalized. My son, who is 11, well, he handling himself since he was 6, 7, because in the bathing, he taught him exactly, okay, this is how you're supposed to bathe, how to confidence that he can do it. So when they're not at home, he can do it. Right. But I understand the stereotype sexual abuse, and it's always a male relative, and in some cases, the fathers. So, yes, that will create an alarm. And so, this discussion is necessary.
Okay. So I'd like to take the opportunity to come in here now because as a father of three children, right? I have two girls and more recent time I have a boy. All right. And I look at it from the point of view that when it comes to, as a father, right? Um, and I'm talking about a father that is committed and a father that was nurtured properly and has all had all the support that he should have growing up. A father without, I wouldn't say without trauma because you could have trauma, but you still can overcome these things, right? Um, I don't even consider these things that
Overcome
sometimes
these
people
things,
make it,
right?
people make it to be as though,
Don't even consider these things.
hold on, I'm hearing myself coming back. I don't know if somebody have the audio on. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, that's better now. So yeah, so as I was saying, I don't even consider it. I've made both my daughters, right? As a father, you would know when they are capable of handling themselves and they can do it themselves, right? Because it's not every time mommy is going to be available to be them, right? And now that we have a son, I can't tell my wife, oh, we have a little boy, so she can't bathe my son because he has different equipment to what she's carrying. And I would go even a step further to say that, I'm going there because there was a time I remember I had a friend that was having this conversation. He was talking about, he said, you allow your children to see you naked or something like that, and I was like, I found it a strange question because I think some people may find it strange or find it inappropriate, but I see the male or female anatomy as nothing to be ashamed of. Just like how you have legs to walk, arms to whatever the case, this part of your body is just another part of your body. And sometimes in us always trying to be secretive and hiding is what causes some level of you know, inquisitive behavior. And you see, so I've never been, worried about being naked in front of my children or anything like that, but I can say with 100% certainty that I have bathed my all of my children. I have no problems doing that, and I know there's a stereotype out there, but I don't prescribe it. So I don't know, Siobhan, I don't know. Maybe you could take the opportunity to come in and give us some what you think, on this issue. Siobhan, are you on mute? Make sure you're unmuted. I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Are you hearing him? Hold on. Maybe the problem is my problem. Hold on. Were you all hearing me okay though?
Yeah, I think his audio. Um,
Oh, okay.
Thomas, Shelly, you need to mute your
Yeah.
Shelly
Shelly, you
on.
muted as well. Unmute your
Unmute your
mic.
mic.
Yeah, something went wrong
Okay.
somewhere. Okay, I'm
Right.
hearing
So
it.
yeah,
So Thomas, no, I'm still not hearing Thomas. Though. That's strange.
that
But
is
you,
very true.
Can you hear me now?
yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we
hearing
can.
you
Yes.
now. Yes,
Hold
yes,
on
yes.
one second then. Hold on. Let me try back this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
hearing you. Yeah, yeah.
All right. But it's not coming through my. Let me just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can connect back this.
Okay. So, Shelly, you want to unmute your mic and and give a response to what Monty, the question that Monty was asking.
Monty, can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
Trying
I was
to
just,
fix
yeah,
the mic.
yeah. You're kind of going in and out as well. Yeah. What I
Said
was just
that
saying, in essence, yeah, just
I know
okay. So, I don't know. I think
you hear
maybe the headphone there's a break in it because you're going and coming. So maybe you should just take off the headphones and just talk directly.
Yeah. She,
better.
Yeah, go ahead now. Let me hear you.
Are you
Yeah, go
hearing
ahead.
me?
Yeah, I just
um,
heard you now. Yeah, go ahead now.
go ahead.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. All right then. I know that you share, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that
I'm not sure. Hold on, Shelly. We have to address this. I'm not sure what is happening, why we're not hearing you all of a sudden.
Yeah, because I
Um,
was saying I find all the while.
yep, she was fine. I'm not sure. So here's what. All right, I would have to. All right, let's bring on Thomas and
Could you hear me now?
Yeah,
yes,
we
we can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we
we're
hear
just
you.
hearing you.
I'll just keep my headphones out.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I what I think is right. It has to do with age as well. But at the same time, if your child becomes sick at a certain age and you are a single dad, or say you are the only one who's present to look after your daughter, and she are unable to look after herself, I think as a father, being professional, being respectable, being knowing how you grew up as a dad, I don't think there should ever be a problem with you bathing your child, or you say bathe your daughter, right? It's the same
Yeah.
thing with males. I don't think there's a problem if your child is at a certain age and your child is sick. Why? I don't see why not being able to look after your child. Um, a lot of people look at it in ways where next thing that child say the dad touched them inappropriately, which may not be, but it's just a case where you have to make your kids understand, all right, listen, I'm your father and this is what I'm willing to do respectfully to look after you, because at the end of the day, I don't think a child is not too big enough to say, well, you know um you're not supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do in the sense of looking after me. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how old your kids get, you're still a parent to that child.
Yeah.
So in relates to not being able to do certain things, to bathe your daughters, to bathe your son, I think it's how people think about it. Some people minds are way corrupted.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to do with a lot of intelligence as well. People look at things differently because we all we're all different people. We all grow up differently. So yes, there's some men that do inappropriate things to kids, especially especially females, and it relates to professionalism again. And as a father, I got girls as well, so I've made my girl kids. Yeah, I've made my girl kids, and as I say, it's the way you go about doing things. At the same time, we need to be careful as well, and we need to protect ourselves as well, because as I say, it may not be how some people take it. As I say, we get stereotyped,
Yeah.
but at least we're especially if we're especially if we are committed dads, and especially being a single parent, we have basically no choice but to having to bathe our daughters, and I don't see nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
You
So,
understand?
mhm. So let me take the opportunity to give you a story. Right, this is I have a friend that he's a single dad,
Yep.
right? That as a dad, he's doing his duty, and he brought his daughters to, and the young little girls, as whether boy or girl, they have to be taken to the health center to get their shots, do their medical, whatever it is. And he was telling me of an experience that he had that was extremely embarrassing for him, and he felt so bad,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because right in front of him, one of the health practitioners, nurses, or whatever the case may be, said to his daughter, you can't let daddy touch your hair and touch it right in front of him, you know. And I'm just feel it kind of disgusts me to the point whereby, how did we come to such a place, right? When we have allowed, whether it is social media, wherever it is, to create some narrative that
Mm-hmm.
all men are predators, or all men are pedophiles, or all men are some kind of an animal, right? They are committed fathers, right? Just like they are single mothers, they are single fathers. Maybe men that are single fathers don't go to the mountaintop and shout it,
Mm-hmm.
because men just that's just in their DNA to keep their head down and do what they have to do. You
Facts.
understand? And at the end of the day, just keep your head down and do what you have to do. And I just find it very unacceptable, and it's a lack of education and a lack of intelligence to think that you can stereotype all men, to think that all men, you know, because by the notion of being male, that you're going to molest that child, you know. And I will go even further to say, right? I think even because I think it's a very small percentage of men that do that, to be honest with you. The thing about it is because you have media and you have social media, and when these things happen, it is shared all over the place and it goes viral and whatever the case may be, and everybody. So this is what you're seeing. Nobody publicizes and the positive stuff don't go viral. So 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 the picture that is painted about fathers and men, sometimes it is created by, I would say, by media, by disgruntled, maybe even disgruntled parents, like a father and his wife, or his girlfriend separate, and now all of a sudden, they have animosity in between them. People use these things as a way to create narratives about men, and it's kind of unfortunate. So as I said, I just give this story because I wanted to put in perspective sometimes what we as men and fathers have to go through, because we just labeled as though we some kind of predator. Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to jump in here. Thomas, have you ever had an experience where you felt uncomfortable because someone, because I, like you said, you bathe your daughters, you present yourself as a good father, but were you ever in a situation where you felt uncomfortable or you felt stereotyped?
You know what? I never really been in a situation like that, but I'll give you an example of I have a daughter of in the UK here. She was probably about 2 years old, right? And when you're passionate about your kids, you will hug them and kiss them and stuff like that. I'm going off the debating part.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
that's okay.
and my daughter mom posted a picture on Instagram with me kissing my daughter on the lips, right? She was 2 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
We dad, we kiss them on the forehead, we give them a kiss on the lip, rah, rah, because it's just a compassionate way of showing love to your kids, right?
Hmm.
Um, and someone took that picture and posted it on a Grenadian, what was it? I think it's some Instagram thing they
Yeah,
create,
yeah,
right? And someone tagged me in it, and I saw the picture of me and my daughter, so I was like, and then the person put whatever comment on there, and I was like, so what's the big deal here? I gave my daughter a kiss, so what's the problem with that? Does it mean I'm having a relationship with my a sexual relationship with my daughter? Am I being a pedophile? Am I being, as you said, a predator because I kissed my 2 year old daughter?
yeah,
I see nothing wrong.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I think human beings just go based on lack of intelligence and lack of knowledge. They see things. They see things. Some people see things way totally different. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's the corruption they have in their mind. Yeah, that's their perspective of thinking and looking at things. People who understands the love and the emotions you put out, especially when you love your kids, yeah, you would like they would never see it as a problem. You
yeah,
understand? So that's the only thing I've ever encountered when it comes to things like that. But nothing to do with like bathing my daughter or anything like that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's weird how we humans go about looking at things because you could put fully on blast for that, you know,
yeah,
and it's nothing out of timing or nothing that that shows that you're doing something wrong.
yeah,
If probably if you're doing that to a strange child, then it's different.
yeah,
Your own child who you- who you who you love and you show passion and compassionate and everything about. You understand? If especially daughters need that fatherly love.
yeah,
They feel when you grow up with your daughters and you give them that fatherly love and you explain to them about life, because I believe daughters listen more to their dads.
yeah,
That,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
I think daughters are more gravitated to their fathers than the mother, especially if
Hmm.
you're a role model, if you're a good father.
Yeah,
You understand? So with me, I'm very dedicated to my kids. Like I will do whatever I have to do. None of my kids won't have any problems with me when it comes to my daughters. I'm my sons. I do everything that's necessary. So if I have to show you love that way, I'm going to show you love that way because I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be able to grow up with a knowledge. This is the way a man should treat a woman. You understand where I'm coming from?
yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
my view on it.
Yeah. So, um, what? Let me just add something to what you said because I think what you experience is more so that we are living in a time where everybody has an opinion, everybody wants to judge everything that they see. They don't know the backstory. And I can tell you, you can take a picture of anything and frame it how you want to frame it. It could be as innocent as could be, and you could, it's like something simple that's something we could look at as well. Something like your daughter sitting on in your laps, right? Your daughter sitting in your laps, somebody could take a picture of that and skew it in whatever way they want to skew it and say, okay, is this appropriate or is it inappropriate? You understand? Um, and we have come to a place now in society that's why I don't know, some people, you ever hear the same misery like company, you know? And I'm not going to sit here and say as though, okay, you should not have concerns. Because I would tell any man or any, because you know, you have fathers and then you have stepfathers. And the stepfather one is even a more, the lines are more blurry. Because I can say to you as a father, I am married, I have 3 kids. Yes, as my goal as a father, as a husband, is to grow old with my family, my wife, and hope everything's always go well, right? But sometimes life is not always that straightforward, and sometimes people bring other people into their lives, And I always say that today or tomorrow something, unexpected happen, and let's say me, you, and your significant other have to separate. I always say to people, and this is messages to women, right? If your children have a father in their lives, right, that is doing what he's supposed to do, right? And I say doing what he's supposed to do, being a father to them, because and it doesn't have to be financial, because some people always look at the financial part. A man could be in a position where he's not really financially sound, but what he provides to the child, is that stability and that sense of security, you know, and giving them good guidance, right? So my thing is that don't try to give your child another father because you and the original fathers have separated. Because sometimes is a nucleus of certain problems when you have these conflicts and then people claiming things happening that's not happening, whether because some people want to say, they're playing one side against the next and that type of thing, right? So I just, it's something that I always say. It's a very shaky thing when it comes to stepfathers and so. But when it comes to that of a father, biological father, I would say somebody that is that has. I don't see how a man, a father that has watched his child come into this world, right? You know, can go and molest his child unless this individual is sick, right? And I will be the first to say I think we have people out there that is sick, right, and need help, right? And it's always easy to label people as monsters, whatever it is, but sometimes if you dig into their past, and you may find out the traumas that they're going through, that may be the nucleus to some of the problems. Right?
I totally agree. When you look at a lot of the incest cases, you notice that they are once victims themselves, so
Yes.
they're literally
Yes.
passing on that trauma.
Yeah.
And it's strange enough. Incest, as we can go right back to the days of the enslavement of African people, as part of the promiscuity that was happening, where the slave owners will force their enslaved people to have sex with their relatives
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
or have sex with underage children. So that type of perverted, promiscuous type of activities dates back to those periods, and we have not come to a place where we can have that topic or the discussion openly and honestly, in my opinion. So I want to just go into another situation that I think we need to touch on. So let's say the reverse is happening. A woman, single mother raising her son. So, for instance, I saw on social media that the son would have probably been about maybe 18 or 19, and his mother was kissing him on the mouth Um, so I don't know. I just want us just to touch on that a little bit because I don't know how to feel about that.
Uh,
But I'll leave
uh,
it open to you guys to chit chat about that.
you
Yeah,
know, I'm 37,
yeah,
and I still kiss my mom on the mouth. It's love. It's it's
yeah,
it's it's. You see, there's a different meaning of certain things because what might it depends on how you go about doing things. Yeah, giving your mom a peck on the mouth like a how we call it, like a smooch, like a mwah, a smooch.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I see nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
That's just the love. That's just the that's just basically the way you probably grew up with your mom, or that's just to show some sort of compassionate or whatever you want to call it. I I literally see no problem with it. That's how you and your mom communicate. That's the love you all have for one another. Why not? No, mom, I love you. Son, I love you. You understand? I
Yeah,
don't.
I understand. But
It's just it depends how you
how
kiss.
you okay?
It's
Okay, so
if you French kissing with your mom, then it's different. You
okay,
know?
so let me throw that in. Let me throw that in. So let's say you have a situation where you have your girlfriend. That the young man has his girlfriend or his wife or whatever, and he's giving his mother more intimate time. Now we now remove incest out of the picture. Okay, we're not talking about incest now. We're just talking about what could be perceived as an uncomfortable, intimate, interaction with his mother that makes his wife uncomfortable. In a sense, yeah. I wanted to discuss that a little bit because that was the situation on
Yeah,
social media.
yeah.
yeah.
If I think if you showing your mom more intimacy than you're showing your wife, then that's a problem. I think there's something a bit sketchy there. Definitely, I'm gonna look at it in a sketchy way. Imagine you more under your mom. But remember, there's some mommy boys there around, yeah. That there's boys that grew up with their mom so close with a single parent and stuff like that. So there's mommy boys, and sometimes moms can be controlling of their kids or of their son. So probably could be that's the reason why, maybe. But I think it's I think it's a techie one still when it comes to that. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Well,
It
well,
is.
what, well,
Monty,
what,
Monty,
yeah,
hold on
yeah.
1 second. We want to
Oh,
just reintroduce Shelly back on the
I
line,
shall,
and
I Shirley, welcome back.
Needs to unmute her mic.
just unmute your mic, Shelly.
Yeah, her mic.
Yeah,
Hi
Okay,
everyone. I was.
right.
yeah,
It's unmuted.
Hello.
It's
Yeah.
unmuted.
right,
Right, good.
yeah, go
Hi,
ahead.
Right. You seem
Pearland.
to have some internet problems on your end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
Okay, but yes, but let's just engage her in a conversation. So,
yeah,
Shelly, we were discussing. I threw out this situation that I saw on social media, where a young man and his mom they have what could be perceived as an uncomfortable interaction, intimate, not intimate. That's probably not the word I should use. But the way they show love, it could be perceived, in a funny way, and that makes his girlfriend uncomfortable. So I want to get your take on it, and then Monty, you will
yeah,
continue.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand the question though.
Oh, I think he,
What you
oh, I think basically what he's saying is that
saying a
this,
mother and a son intimate?
no, they're not intimate. It's just that how they show affection for each other, making his significant other uncomfortable. What's your take on that? Maybe he kisses his mother on the mouth. Maybe how much time he spends with the mother. I'm not sure what the actual circumstance is. I don't know if Colin have more information so that he could
Okay.
shed some more
So
light on it.
okay. So right, like I said, but Monty, yours on point. But just to add to it, so just picture this, right? You have a mother, her grown son. and he has his girlfriend or his wife. Now he is spending more intimate time with his mother, and they have what could be perceived as an uncomfortable, situation of, and I don't want to use the word intimacy, but the way in which they show love to each other, that's the mother and the son. It makes his partner, his girlfriend, uncomfortable,
Yeah, so
right?
basically kissing his mom on his mouth.
Yes, kissing his mom on the mouth, and they're doing things outside of the normal way of affection that a mother and son, the dynamic that a mother and son will display. Yes, I want to get your take on it as a woman,
As a mother, yeah, that is
as a
true.
mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Describe that scenario. As a mom, I feel it uncomfortable. If you say it involves kissing each other in the mouth, you're a grown man and you're kissing your mom in the mouth. I know your mom on your cheek, but we have to. I also want to factor in that, different cultural context,
Yeah.
interaction varies. Yes,
Yeah.
in some countries, the show of affection is more openly
Oh.
from this context of Grenada, no, and I go to a different cultural context where they're more affectionate, uncomfortable.
Okay.
She kind of
I realize that
hugging off.
Shelly, so, if you could hear me, you're on your end. The internet is,
Um,
is not connecting.
it
It's giving a bit of a
depends on the
lag.
cultural context,
Yeah, you take a while first.
right?
Okay.
Oh,
The bond is
Shelly.
creating a discomfort for the
It'll take a while for them
boy's
for
partner.
Yeah,
What
she's in.
Okay,
happening?
yeah,
All right, there's
yeah.
a lag.
So you're going in and out. You're going in and out. Sometimes we hear you, sometimes you're not. I'm getting the
Oh,
so for instance, I'm getting the gist of what you're
but
saying, and sometimes we have a big chunks that we're not hearing.
Yeah, there's a lag here.
There's a
Yeah.
lag.
It's the internet.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes, your
Because
internet
I'm
connection
hearing
is
you
giving out.
guys perfect.
yeah. Shelly, let me ask let
I
me
am
just ask
hearing
you a
you
question.
guys perfectly, like
Yeah.
in real time.
Let me just ask
Go
you,
ahead.
maybe it could be your modem. What color modem you have though? Just for a technical, from a technical standpoint, because I think you're supposed to get a black modem now. A lot of these modems need to change. Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, Eddie,
Yes.
she's not. Yeah.
I was usually when I got, you know, out and then I'm back, I'm using to connect.
Okay. I don't know. For some, you are you very close to the modem right now?
Eddie, no. Unfortunately, just to continue the conversation, we'll
Uh,
have to.
Okay. Well, if
Shelly,
so, if you could hear me, Shelly, if you could move closer
I'm
to your
in the
modem,
room
I
next to
think
the
that.
moon.
Yeah, she's in the room next to the
Oh,
modem.
okay.
Um,
Well, I don't know.
hmm,
But
I
something
don't
is
know.
good. Something is wrong.
Something on
Yeah.
your end, yeah. Something's
Yeah.
wrong on your end.
Yeah.
All right. So,
uh-huh.
Yeah, because we hearing big chunks of
It
what
was
you're
right on
saying missing.
the moon.
If you could go close, or maybe if you could
Okay.
connect directly to the modem. I don't know if
I'm
it's
for
a
that.
laptop, if it's a laptop or a phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, it seems that she's lagging. Yeah. Oh boy.
Using
We do
my cell
apologize about that.
phone.
Oh, it's your cell phone.
Okay. I'm not sure what could be the problem.
Maybe
All
reboot
right.
the
So,
cell phone. Tell her, send her a message. Maybe
yeah,
reboot the cell phone.
yes. All right.
Yeah,
Well, let's continue this conversation. As we we're approaching the 6 o'clock hour. So
yeah.
right. So yeah, Monty,
Yeah.
you had a something that you wanted to say regarding that.
Yeah, well, what I would say, and I think Siobhan alluded to it, and even Shelley alluded to it as well. It's all cultural, eh? And to some degree, because in certain parts of the world, people kiss strangers on the lips, and they are, that's just the culture, right? But if you grow up in a household, right, that you show affection and kissing by on the lips, I have a friend, an acquaintance that I remember him growing up. His son go and see. I remember going. I went to them by his son. His son would have been maybe less than 10 years old, and he kisses his son on the lips, right? Um, I guess that's just the way he shows affection, you know. Um, so it's all about how you grew up and what is the custom in your household. So it would vary from household to household. Obviously, sometimes you would have these contentions when you have a significant other, because if you spend a lot of time with your mother and they figure, okay, you're not spending enough time with them, that's always be problematic in relationship. They like to call you mama's boy, that kind of thing. But that's just a byproduct of growing up with single mothers. Boys tend to, just like um, girls gravitate to their fathers, a lot of time boys, because of maybe wanting to protect, we gravitate to our mothers. You understand? So some of that, I think that's just a byproduct of that. Um, I don't judge situations like that because I said I don't know the background and how the person grew up. I didn't see the kids, but if it's just a smack on the lips, I don't see anything. Once you're exchanging saliva and that kind of thing, then to me, I don't see anything adversely wrong with that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that's fair enough. So in a situation, if the partner is uncomfortable, in your opinion, what should a man do? But let's say this is normal interaction with he and his mom, but
Wow.
his partner is, yes, that's is a kind of iffy one there, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that as a man, you have to strike the right balance, because you can't have a wife, for instance. Let me just give a scenario. You can't have a wife, right? That, for instance, you're living in a house together with. But let's just say you decide that every day you have to pass by mommy and you have to go and eat mommy food before you go by your wife. And sometimes you're eating your wife food, but you're eating mommy food, and you're spending, that, to me, that is problematic. You
That means
understand?
probably your wife can cook then. You prefer mommy food.
Watch that. Well, you go always have a connection to your mother food.
Yeah,
But
back.
but if you have a woman and you have a wife that have skills, you
Yeah,
know, at the end of the day, you'll be alright. But
definitely.
but I tell you, if it's one of those men, because there are men that could be somewhat mama's boy because they grew up, they were coddled maybe too much by their mothers. Maybe the mother did everything for them, literally, and they're just overly protective, and sometimes they just in leave the mother's nest.
Yeah,
You
because
understand?
we have some big men.
Hmm.
That's a topic we had a couple years ago that are still not on their mom.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
kind of weird, but yeah, you have some big men that are still latch on to the mom's breast.
When say latch on to the mom's breast, I don't know how big.
Big
I mean,
men.
latch on to it how? I don't know. I don't know how a big man could still want to latch on to you. Anyways, I don't know what it is, but as I would say, it have. You hearing me? Okay. I don't know if
I'm
it's on
hearing
you.
you, Monty. I'm hearing you,
Okay.
Monty.
Well, it's on your end. Well, he can hear me. All right, good.
Shelly, are you hearing us?
Well, let Shelly come in. Let's see if Shelly. Let's see. Let's see if things better.
Yes, I'm hearing you guys.
Shelly online, but we're having a tough
I
day.
am I am sitting right next to children outside at my puppy.
Okay, that was a little better. That was a little better. So Shirley, I don't know if you wanna if you wanna continue where you were, so at least we could see if we could hear you.
Well, I was hearing you summarize what I was saying, that it depends on the cultural context and every household is different,
Right, right. Yeah, go
right?
ahead. So, yeah,
And person's mode of engagement with their children varies. I think what we just need to be mindful of is when their mode of engagement becomes sexualized, and when somewhere along the line a disconnect happen where the child is viewed as a sexual object. I think this
right.
is where it becomes problematic, right?
Hmm.
Parenting and engaging their children, and the way we parent stems from the way we grew up and how we grow up
We were
and
parented.
we bring
Yes.
it in our home environment, in our home context. Yes. My sons love a lot of hugs, so they will just come and want to hug up mommy, and boy children they like a lot of affection. Yes. And they love a lot of hugs. I mean, all
Yeah,
children, they
yeah,
like to
yeah.
feel that in those emotional needs of safety, attention, identity, and belonging, and they become more secure in the knowledge that they are loved unconditionally with no strings attached, and they don't have attachment issues, right? So coming back to the
Right.
discussion that you had about the connection between the mom and the son has not learned how they grow up. He always believes that his mom is supposed to protect him, to always be there. He doesn't want to let it go.
Okay.
Imagine the situation
She was going pretty well there for a
where
while.
Yep, she was. Uh,
letting them go to someone else would be hard for her to let go.
But Shelly you was going pretty good there for a while, and now you just
oh
go
boy.
there again. And there's a specific question that I really really wanted to get to your point of view
I
on it.
I know.
Um, I don't know if you're hearing me, but um, and maybe hopefully next time you respond, maybe you'll be able to address this, right? Because in speaking of stereotypes and men, right, there's always this perception that okay, because by and large women make better parents than men or better nurturers, right? Let me go even a step further, right? When we was creating this interaction, this show, right? We had a situation whereby we said, okay, father knows best, and it was not something we over thought of. We just thought about. And I would really love to get from a female perspective. What is your take on that? Because some people overthink it. Some people want to say, okay, well, no, father don't know best, or and I think all that is connected to the fact that okay, people just feel that mothers are the best parents, right? I know a lot of single fathers. I went to school with guys that was grown up by a single father, right? Um, so I would really like to hear sometimes your perception on this, because I think in the context of when, and I just wanted to make this disclaimer, when we say father knows best, right? And it speaks to that of stereotypes. We're speaking to that of in terms of being the head of your home, right? And being the leader of your household, right? Good leaders always sought counsel, whether it is from their wife or whether it is if the wife don't have the answer, whether it is their spiritual leader or whatever the case may be. You understand? So I just use that as as just an example of how sometimes there's perceptions and people. So and some people are turned off by the name Father knows best because no, a man can't know best. I don't know what's if you could respond because as I said I was hearing you really good and then after you cut off a bit. So
Are you hearing me now?
yes I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Yes.
So to respond to your question, is fathers knows best. I believe that both parents are necessary in the upbringing of their children.
Mhm.
Father, the being the priest, the protector, the provider in the home, right? 'Cause he's the captain, and the wife, the mother, is the co-captain. Women are
All right.
emotionally driven, and every thought processes is governed by our emotions. So our emotions and how we feel, we bring in that nurturing heart of the home, right? But the father, he is logically facts driven. He doesn't run the decision. So it's really important that the balance is maintained. And as a woman, I have no issue or no challenge with my
Yeah.
husband leading as the head of the home, right? Because sometimes I might look at things through emotional eyes, my children might get offended with them as opposed to their dad who will deal with the matter head on, right? And we see how children growing up in single parent home, and not functioning as best for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
safety and security when the father is not there. So yes, I understand the importance of fathers connecting to their children, even at a young age, right? She feels bond, that oxytocin, that love from he will take men priorities shift how they think
Ye-
and perceive. They take their role, especially absent in their lives children's lives as their father
Yeah.
were. So yes, I support the view that fathers knows best. But we see how society today,
Okay. Hmm.
and we see how children growing up in single parent home are not functioning as best for the girl children. For the girl children, that's who they marry. They marry daddy. They marry somebody who knows how to engage their children, how to be a man, how to engage. Their whole masculinity is defined by what their father projects to them. So yes, fathers knows best. I hope I answer your question.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I got the gist of what you're saying. Although you did cut out quite a few times, but I think I did get the gist of what you're saying. And for what I heard, I agree with you 100%. Because at one point in time, I couldn't speak to that of boy children. Now I'm a father of a boy and two girls. So I have the best of both worlds, and I can judge because just I think you alluded to it. Boys love. You see, I realize how we always grew up with this big boy, this syndrome of big boys don't cry. You know, you beat a boy and then after you beat him, you have to shut up, whatever it is. And okay, and we've been taught to suppress our emotions and whatever it's But now that I have a son, I see that they want the hugs and they want the emotion just like girls do. You understand? You know, to this day, my son is almost 2 years old, and I feel I'm like his permanent mattress because he sleeps on my chest. Sometimes in the middle of the every time I try to get him off, he wakes up and he climbs right back on. You understand? And he comes for his hug, he comes for and you have to give them the love. You understand? So I'm happy to just to go because it speaks to the other stereotypes as well because people always figure, okay, that as a father, you know, men we not good at certain things. I think we had to get rid of some of these stereotypes, and I think that just as you correctly said, both father and mother have their role to play, and it's important that each person play their role. So Siobhan, I see you back. I don't know
Yeah,
if I see. Yeah,
could you hear me?
yeah, I'm hearing
Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, I had to sign in and sign back out. I mean,
you.
sign up and back in.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, as the topic we're on, I definitely don't see the problem with a father bathing his daughter we say of any age just because your child could be you could be a single dad, you and your daughter could be living alone, yet she could be sick, and a parent would always be a parent, especially if you're dedicated to what you do and you show
yeah,
compassion and you show love to your child. So I definitely see no problem with it.
right, right. And that even goes a step further as we talk about even I think, and maybe before we wrap up because as we say we up on the hour, right? um with regards to girls, maybe we could speak to, is there a age that we think, okay, because I could tell you with me, when you see with my daughters, when I saw they were at an age, and maybe not age I should say, at a stage where all that you were teaching them how to take care of themselves, bathing them, and so you see they're able to do it for themselves, then you allow them to do it.
Facts.
As a matter of fact, that's what I used to brush my daughter's teeth for them. When I realized, I said, well, let me see, brush your teeth for yourself, you know. And sometimes I brush it together with them. So, for
Mhm.
instance, I brushing my teeth and they brush their teeth, and I say, okay. So when we go up down, up down, up down, so that you watch them do the up down. You go to the back, you let them see that you make sure that they're doing it as well, right? And then if you figure after they finish they miss a couple spots, you still give them, and that's how you teach them, and that's how they learn. And the same thing with bathing their body parts. You make sure they get under their arms, make sure they get in all the necessary crevices, you know. And once you see they are doing it and they're doing it effectively, to me, that is a stage where you can say, okay, yes, you can do it for yourself, right? And still, I can tell you from a father of three, you still have to stay on top of things with them because when you see they start doing it for us, that is when they start wasting your water. Because then they're going in the bathroom and spending half an hour. Them alone know what they're doing inside it. So,
Oh gosh, true,
yeah.
true. But yeah, man. As I say, yeah. Once they reach at a certain stage where they could actually look after themselves, then you leave them to do that, especially if they're doing it properly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
kids, no matter how old we get, we still need a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, as I said, if you have a 15-year-old daughter and she's sick and cannot manage to do it on her own, you have to step in as a dad, especially if the mom is not around. So it goes with all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me,
Yeah.
I always have stories. Let me give you one last story. Um, there was some bad cold going around. Sorry about that. There was this bad cold going around. And when your girls get to becoming teenagers and so they're becoming more secretive because now their body's changing, they're growing breasts, pubic hairs, and all those kind of things. So after a while, you just know when it's time. You know when it's time. They'll start hiding all this kind of thing. And I found it so funny. It was laughable. Even though I started laughing because my daughter was sick to the point of she just, how she would normally hide, she could not be bothered, you know, so that I was the one when she was sick and all the fever had to go and take um wet rags and so and put on the arms to bring down her fever and all them kind of things. So and she just couldn't be bothered the other side. So at the end of the day, fathers that are conscientious fathers and of on that haven't that is not sick, because as I said to you, you cannot tell me that a father that has a healthy mind can look at his daughter and see and has any sexual, you know, intuition.
Desires. That's
It's
it.
just, it's unnatural.
Yep.
It's
100%.
unnatural, right?
Ah,
No matter how beautiful your daughter would grow up to be, you can't look at your daughter and feel in any kind of way. You understand?
mhm, mhm.
You know, and as you say, if it's obviously not your daughter, as I say, it's more tricky when it comes to stepfathers. I don't I, watch. I'm not. I've never been a stepfather. I would never want. I've never wanted to be a stepfather, because to me there's a lot of hard work taking care of a child that you would get no thanks for. Because I guarantee you, anytime thing goes wrong, they will remind you that you're not their father.
Facts.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Fully agreed.
yeah.
All right. Well, it's really regrettable that we've had all these problems. It seems to be with the actual program. It may not actually be the internet.
Mm,
Um, these programs always have glitches, and you always have to give them feedback so they could address it on
right.
their end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shelly, she's unable to come on because it seems that her problem is probably permanent. So, she has to leave,
Mm-hmm.
um, unfortunately. But Thomas, I really appreciate that you taking the time to come on, even though you had some little glitches here and there. We have to rectify this going forward to see where the
Right.
problem is, so that we can have a smooth stream of the program on these platforms.
Right.
So Eddie, just wrap closing statements from the both of you, and we could wrap up this program.
Yeah. Well, I want to just take the opportunity to say thanks for the persons who came on to the program. Thanks to Thomas. Thanks to Shelley. Thanks to all the persons who tuned in. Um, I want to apologize for all of the technical difficulties. It's part and parcel of the new of technology. Um, I think this is a very pertinent discussion, and I know Shelley would have made some serious contributions, that some of it that we may have missed. So what we will try to do is definitely try to bring her back, right? Where we can maybe summarize some of the things, and because there's always crossover issues. So I will definitely try to get her back on when we know that we could, things, as you say, we'll sort out whatever the glitches are, and hopefully we could have a very fluid program. Um, and I look forward to being with you all again next week and thereafter. All
All
right.
right. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. So
All right, guys. So,
yeah.
pleasant good evening. Good night to you, Mr. Thomas, all
Rest
over
in
in the UK. All
peace.
right,
Yeah.
take care. Peace and
All
Appreciate it.
right.
blessings.
All
Yeah,
right
man.
then.
Yeah.